save with stress-free pricing and financing. Come in for a stress-free experience at Subaru of Puyallup during the Subaru A Lot to Love event now through April 1st.
Got a furnace not firing or a switch not switching?
Call C-Town Electric Heating and Air.
Call 206-209-0690.
Call C-Town Electric Heating and Air.
ctownservices.com.
Are you an experienced insurance agent? Are you looking for an opportunity to grow in your career? Well, First Mark Insurance is hiring. It's Dory Monson. I know firsthand from my own experience and speaking with so many First Mark Insurance clients, you just won't get better service. When you do good, good things happen, and First Mark Insurance is growing. Are you an agent interested in an incredible growth opportunity for your career? Go meet with the team at First Mark Insurance. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com/hiring.
Attend a free online trading academy workshop. Text Gridlock to 57682 and register for workshops in Gig Harbor, Linwood, Federal Way, Tumwater, and Silverdale. Text Gridlock to 57682 and be in control of your financial portfolio. Register today.
There's no drain we can't tame. We'll flush all your plumbing issues down the drain. I'm Bobby Wagner, honorary GM of Beacon Plumbing. Stop freaking. Call Beacon. 1-800-FREAKIN'.
You are in control of the show. Choose your news on the Candy, Mike, and Todd Show. Mike and Todd Show.
Oh, it's the game where the stories are totally fascinating. The points only matter to us. Some reason it ended in a tie yesterday. I'm still demanding a recount, but this is what we call Choose Your News. We're going to give you a headline, a little bit about our story, and then you text your vote, Candy, Mike, or Todd, or something about the story to 98973. That's the Online Trading Academy text line. And be listening here at 406. We're going to see if your pick made it out on top. So now it is time for the pitches. Mike, since you were gone yesterday, please take the floor, sir.
First, let's hope that you're never involved in one of these situations. But if you are, law enforcement across the country, from the federal level to the local level, would like for you to stop using these two words in your emergency call to 911, your tweet, or your Facebook posting, and understand when you're using these words what they mean, when they should be used, and when they should not be used. I'll tell you what those words are coming up.
Mike and his secret words.
Clickbait! That's pretty effective.
98973 if you'd like to hear Mike's story today for Choose Your News. Todd, to you.
All right, so you'll see these fuzzy little toys. You'll see animals that are meant to calm you down. You'll see these hand squeezy things, etc.
Stress balls.
Stuff like that. Now, what if I were to tell you that billion-dollar business might actually be making itself wealthier? What if I were to tell you that, in fact, it might be doing the reverse of what it's telling you it's doing? In other words, is it a scam? You want to hear that story? Text Todd's story to 98973. Candy.
My story for Choose Your News today has an audio intro. It is a love story, kind of. Kyle lives in New York with his girlfriend. One night, couldn't sleep. He took some Ambien at about 3 a.m. That's a little late in the night to take Ambien, according to the package directions. And that's when things took a turn. It's the Ambien story to end all Ambien stories. That's what I have for Choose Your News today. Find out what happened. Text Candy to 98973 or something about the story. However you please. Go ahead and text it right now to the Online Trading Academy text line.
Craziness. You know what's interesting? Your story, someone takes Ambien late at night, causes them anxiety, so they reach for one of these things that might, in fact, be having the unintended consequence or perhaps intended consequence of making them feel a little bit more freaky. So they reach for 911, and they use the two words that Mike's story is going to tell you to not use. My gosh, it's been cosmically connected.
We just did Choose Your News Inception.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, that's okay. One day I'll see that movie. I've seen the trailers, though, so I'm fairly fluent in that way.
That's a good one. So text your vote to 98973.
Yeah, so next hour, are we meeting the primary responsibilities of government? Another Washington State-funded school for people with specific and special needs may be shut down. We'll talk about that. Tracy Taylor can now do a traffic report for us, brought to you by Michael's Subaru of Bellevue.
Knew something was going on northbound to 405 out near 132nd. I just tweeted out southbound. My accident here. Northbound 405, 132nd. There's a wreck on the side that's a little bit of a distraction. I'm seeing a truck in. It looks like two people that are off to the side. So again, drivers are running into some delays just after 520 and heading out towards that scene. There was a little bit of hesitation in the southbound direction. Speaking of southbound 405 is slammed approaching 520 heading into Newcastle. So is southbound I-5 down Boeing Field, Boeing Access Road. There's a medical emergency on the ramp. That's a little bit of a distraction. It continues to slow outside of the Duwamish River curves and working its way up to 188. Speaking of the Duwamish River curves, we've got road work that's happening there and around at South Center this week, and I'll tell you more about that coming up here at 4:03. Traffic brought to you by Michael's Subaru of Bellevue, part of the family-owned Michael's Automotive Group for the life you live. Off I-90 at Eastgate or online at michaelsubaru.com. KIRO Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Tracy Taylor.
Tomorrow on Seattle's Morning News, just how private are our lives when a professor proves anything we say in public can be Googled to track you down. And Rachel Bell on the not-so-happy side of DNA tests. Sure, it's nice to find out you're Irish or Greek, but a shocking number of people are instead finding out Dad is not actually Dad. That's tomorrow on Seattle's Morning News.
On KIRO Radio, 97.3 FM.
News and talk, powered by the Pacific Northwest.
Hey, it's Todd Herman sitting here having fun with my buddy Nate Harrington from Polar Bear Exterior Solutions. So what's new with the James Hardy siding, Nate?
Well, we love the Color Plus siding option. It's a fully finished product, so it's very, very convenient for customers. Once it's up and the siding's on, it's done. No more calling a painter, nothing like that.
Okay, so this sounds super cool. So it goes in your house, the color's already made, so this is all uniform, and it's got the great James Hardy guarantee.
Absolutely. It's a baked-on, curtain-coated enamel finish. So what that means is it's very durable. It comes with a 15-year warranty just on the finish alone. So that means no painting for 15-plus years.
Yeah, and listen, I know something about you that you absolutely will not give up until the job is done right. That's why I vouch for you every single time. So look, do what I did. Call Polar Bear Exterior Solutions at 877-948-2327. Schedule your free evaluation today and ask about zero down, zero interest, zero payments for a full 12 months OAC. Polar Bear Exteriors, 877-948-2327 or polarbearnw.com.
Market volatility is back. Hi, I'm Rick Edelman. Watching the stock market rise one day, fall the next, makes you wonder what you should be doing. Well, if market volatility is on your mind, come to our Edelman Financial Engine's live event, Mind Over Money, and learn how your emotions can keep you from reaching your financial goals. Might not be the stock market that's the issue. Maybe it's how you're responding to it. When you're trying to make good investment decisions, emotions can often get in the way. The barrage of constant news might cause you to make a rash decision that can hurt your ability to achieve financial security. So come learn the science behind your emotions and learn the simple steps you can take to help you enjoy peace of mind. Join us Monday, March 18th in Linwood, Tuesday the 19th in Federal Way, both 6:30 p.m. Register at rickedelman.com. That's ricedelman.com. Or call us at 888-PLAN-RICK. That's 888-PLAN-RICK.
It's that time of year, time to power up all your outdoor fun at Batteries Plus Bulbs. They have batteries for cars, trucks, ATVs, RVs, boats, motorcycles. Plus, they have batteries for all riding lawnmowers and battery-powered yard equipment. That's where I get mine. They are the highest quality. Any power sport or lawn and garden battery you need, Batteries Plus Bulbs has it. Save $10 this month on Duracell Ultra Power Sport and Lawn and Garden batteries. 10 easy locations from Olympia to Everett, and now open in Arlington, batteriesplusbulbs.com.
If you have questions about reverse mortgages, have lunch with Laura Keel from Laura's Home Loans. Hey, everybody, it's John Curley. Laura, I've been calling it a seminar, and it's not a seminar, is it?
Our Lunch and Learn is a very small, intimate group. We have lunch together and get everybody's questions answered.
That's Laura's Home Loans. Laura's got the best team working with her. Do you want to RSVP that you can make it March 20th? It's 833-ASK-LAURA. That's 833-ASK-LAURA at laurashomeloans.com. Mortgage Master Service Corporation, CL 40445. Equal housing opportunity.
Another bill? Look, sometimes you just don't know where to turn. Things can go wrong. The last thing you need to worry about is heating. If you're having trouble paying your winter utility bills, simply call 1-866-674-6327 to find out about the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program. LIHEAP can help you and your family. Call 1-866-674-6327 to find out if you qualify. This effort can help offset the increase in energy bills during the winter. Call 1-866-674-6327 and warm up now.
Get in right now and get great prices on KitchenAid at Arnold's Appliance. The more you buy, the more you save, with up to $1,600 in mail-in rebates when you purchase select KitchenAid appliances. Stop by Arnold's today and talk to their friendly, professional, knowledgeable staff about all the details, plus other KitchenAid promotions. Arnold's Appliance, family-owned, serving homeowners and builders for over 40 years. In Bellevue on Northeast 20th Street and at arnoldsappliance.com.
KIRO Radio, 97.3 FM, KIRO FM, Tacoma, Seattle.
It's Dory Monson. I'm here with my good friend Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. And Shannon, this time of year, days are getting a little longer, a little warmer. People want to get outside for that jog, that bike ride, that hike. You have some great advice.
I do, Dory. You know, I'm super excited that spring is on its way. However, be prepared. Take your time. Slow and steady is the person who wins the race. Don't go out and do it too fast, too soon. You don't want to injure yourself and have one of those overuse injuries, such as a sprain or strain, that's going to limit you with activities as the summer starts to get here and you want to get out more and get more involved.
And at IRG, you guys will help them get back on their feet and stay active, right?
That's exactly right. We offer injury screenings. We offer education. We want to help you be your best self. That's what we're all about, being your best self.
I love it. Be your best self. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find your neighborhood IRG clinic. Go to irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
You might not be able to get a new car with your tax refund, but you can make your car feel like it's brand new. Come into Maaco today and get your dream paint job during their tax season sales event.
KIRO Radio, 97.3 FM. Online at mynorthwest.com and streaming on the KIRO Radio app. KIRO FM, Tacoma, Seattle. News and talk. Powered by the Pacific Northwest.
Bribes from wealthy parents to get Junior into an elite school.
Best education money could buy.
Grounded by many airlines, Boeing says its 737 MAX is safe.
Pressure is mounting on the FAA to take action.
Theresa May's latest Brexit deal goes bust.
A second massive defeat in Parliament.
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition, sponsored by the Capital One Saver Card.
Federal prosecutors say it's their largest college admissions scam ever, a scheme that involved payoffs to coaches and administrators from wealthy parents to get their kids into elite schools. FBI Special Agent in charge, Joseph Bonavolanta.
The FBI uncovered what we believe is a rigged system, robbing students all over the country of their right at a fair shot to getting into some of the most elite universities in this country, such as Yale, Stanford, and Georgetown.
Some 50 people face charges, including 30 parents. U.S. Attorney Andrew Lelling.
Based on the charges unsealed today, all of them knowingly conspired to help their children either cheat on the SAT or ACT and or buy their children's admission to elite schools through fraud.
CBS's Chip Reed.
There were two parts. The first part is better scores on the SAT and the ACT, which is smaller amounts of money, but still a lot of money for the average person. And the other was the really big money, $250,000, I'm told, ranging all the way up to more than $6 million to fabricate an athletic resume.
Boeing says the planes are safe, and the FAA so far agrees, but several major airlines are grounding their 737 MAX jetliners amid safety concerns. This following Sunday's Ethiopian Airlines crash that killed all 157 people aboard. CBS's Chris Van Cleve.
The pilots at American, Southwest, and United, all three airlines fly a version of the MAX. Their pilots are still showing up to work and flying those planes. Right. The airlines get an awful lot of data out of those airplanes, and they're convinced they're safe. So if you're the FAA, it is a bit of a balancing effort.
The European Union and Britain both have banned 737 MAX aircraft from their airspace, at least for the time being. Britain could be headed toward economic chaos as Prime Minister Theresa May's latest Brexit deal was voted down today by the Parliament. CBS's Vicky Barker.
With Theresa May's Brexit deal now convincingly defeated twice, British lawmakers are likely to ask for the March 29th Brexit deadline to be extended. But that would require the consent of all 27 EU members. Their next summit is March 21st. 8 days before Britain is scheduled to leave the EU.
And exiting the EU without a Brexit deal could hit the British economy with tariffs and other trade barriers. On Wall Street, the Dow losing 96 points to 25,554. Now this.
Brought to you by the new Capital One Saver Card. Earn 4% cash back on dining and entertainment, 2% at grocery stores, and 1% on all other purchases. What's in your wallet?
We're looking for a dangerous person, and we don't have a good description of him.
A tricky manhunt in Tacoma. Details coming up. At first, KIRO Radio real-time traffic. Here's Tracy Taylor.
So I just got a tweet, and you can always tweet at me. It's Tracy T Traffic, or you can reach me at KIRO Traffic as well, saying that the traffic lights are out at 7th and Lenora, also at Westlake and Lenora. So it could be some planned work. I just checked with Seattle City Light and Puget Sound Energy, and nobody is reporting any outages whatsoever. So it could be some work that's happening in that area that's got the traffic signals dark. So you got to treat that as a 4-way stop. We're looking at a lineup on northbound 405 out near 132nd. I'm seeing a wreck that's off to the side, a little bit of a visual distraction, and of course the lineup starting from just after 520 towards that scene. And we are definitely thickening up on westbound 90 as well as we get closer to the 405 merge. Eastbound 90 approaching 405 as well. Drivers are running into some slowing on South 95 down Boeing Field, right around Boeing Access Road, off to the ramp there. You're going to notice a medical emergency. It is a little bit of a visual distraction for drivers. Your Valley Freeway drive still a little bit of a struggle after Valley Medical Center heading into parts of Kent. So is that northbound 5 drive. I know you guys are itching to find out what your real-time travel times are. They're so much better than they were this morning, that's for sure. Our Everett to Seattle drive sitting at about 40 minutes. Our Seattle to Everett drive is sitting at under an hour, but that's going to continue to climb with the heavier traffic outside of the U District. Again, off and on as we get closer towards the county line and the normal lineup after the Boeing Freeway heading up and past Highway 2. Traffic brought to you by Papa John's. They've added 6 new pizzas to their Papa John's handcrafted specialty menu, like the meatball and pepperoni. Get a large specialty pizza, $12, papajohns.com. Delivery fee and taxes extra. KIRO Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Tracy Taylor.
Now, from the KIRO Radio Newsroom and streaming on the KIRO Radio app.
First, the drug companies, now the distributors. KIRO Radio's Hannah Scott tells you who the state attorney general's targeting now in the opioid crisis.
The AG announcing a new lawsuit over the opioid crisis against distributors McKesson, Cardinal Health, and AmerisourceBergen, who he says supplied the majority of opioids coming into Washington state.
Between 2006 and 2014, they supplied more than 2 billion opioid pills to Washington.
But he says the companies fell short of their legal obligation to report suspicious orders. On top of civil penalties, the AG also asking the courts to order the companies to give up their profits from the shipments.
A Seattle police lieutenant who retired from the force just to run for city council says he opposes Seattle's plan for safe drug injection sites. Brendan Colding tells KTTH's Jason Rand.
That's like saying we're going to have safe vehicle crash sites where you can drive your car into a wall and we're going to have medics there for you.
Plans for an injection site in Seattle have slowed over budget concerns and potential lawsuits. Police are searching for a man who appears to be staking out sex stores and attacking employees as they leave. Workers in Puyallup were able to fight off the attacker, but in Tacoma, the suspect punched out a male worker and then assaulted his female coworker.
What it tells us is that his demeanor has changed. He's actually escalating in his violent behavior.
Officer Loretta Kuhl tells KIRO 7 they still don't have a good description of that suspect. With the weather turning nicer, a warning about where you row your boat. A couple of sightseers in a rowboat and a kayak managed to shut down a ferry run when they ended up under the Clinton Ferry Terminal. State Patrol Trooper Kevin Fortino.
It's a big deal because it's mass transit. I mean, we're dealing with a very sensitive transit system.
Troopers asked the boaters to leave, and they were able to get the ferries going again. Is a cure for Puget Sound pollution oysters?
What it tells us is that his demeanor has changed.
Oysters are one of the cleanest ways we can clean our waterways.
State Commissioner of Public Lands Hillary Franz says State and Port of Seattle are planting 3 tons of native Olympia oysters along with eelgrass and kelp on 25 acres of Smith Cove and Magnolia. They tell KIRO 7 the bivalves naturally filter seawater and should help improve the water quality in Elliott Bay. And now your forecast.
Scattered showers for your evening commute. Temperatures will be sitting in the upper 40s and low 50s. Showers continue overnight tonight with lows dropping to the upper 30s. I'm KIRO 7 pinpoint meteorologist Tiffany Sanders.
It's 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Heather Bosch.
From Gig Harbor to Greenwood, this is KIRO Radio, 97.3 FM.
News and talk, powered by the Pacific Northwest.
This is the Candy, Mike, and Todd Show on KIRO Radio, 97.3 FM.
Yes! That is exactly right. Media Matters for America, left-leaning political organizations released more Audio from Tucker Carlson. What does it say about locker room talk and going on shows like Bubba and the Spongy Sponge and more? So we'll dig into that.
Not the name of the show. Doesn't even matter, though.
Yeah, well, I think it does matter, but it doesn't excuse, but it does matter. At least it adds context to this. But that's not the whole point of this. The whole point of this is if you're getting a tinge right now like you're super powerful, you are, because you're about to take control of a great, big, huge talk radio station.
Did everyone agree with you? Let's find out. Choose your news on the Candy, Mike, and Todd Show.
Everyone probably agree with you because you make the best choices. So we give you a taste of our stories we found really interesting today. And you've been texting your votes, Candy, Mike, or Todd, at 98973. That's the Online Trading Academy text line. And you are very creative from the 425. You're stressing me out. I need some warm and fuzzy feeling. Tell me Todd's story. From the 360, Todd talking about squishy balls. I'm going with Mike today. From
That's
the
horrible.
206.
Why did you read that? That's
That was a
mean.
text
That's
that we
awful.
got.
That's
you
terrible.
were talking about squishy
But
balls.
that's what you said.
That is
but
what
that's
that is.
horrible.
That's the same
I
thing.
take umbrage.
From the 206, take your
Umbrage.
umbrage elsewhere. How about take your umbrage?
I think you've taken your share of umbrage over the course of the last few years.
I'm triggered.
How much umbrage do you need? From the
10 more.
206, about to take some Candy story about Ambien might be good. All right, choose your news. Scoreboard currently says Mike is at 12, Todd is at 14, I am at 8. Who will add another point today? Todd's story about the squishy balls, Mike's story about words you should not say to 911, or mine, the Ambien story to beat all Ambien stories. And today, our winner is...
You did it! Congratulations!
Mike Lewis, congratulations! Everyone's so excited to hear the stories that they probably should. Actually, one of my favorite texts from the 425 is said, I probably said all of the words Mike is about to tell us not to say.
Well, let's hope you didn't. And actually, they're not saying never, never say this. They're saying don't say it as often as you do. And the two words are active shooter. And this is the problem. Law enforcement has said, and 911 operators have said, FBI agents have said that people now, because that term is so depressingly common, even though many of the situations that are reported are active shooter are not actually active shooter, there is a definition that law enforcement uses for this word. And their point is, if you hear gunshots, if you think they're gunshots, if you think that there is something going on, please, please do not say active shooter. Active shooter, as defined by the federal government, is an individual actively engaged in killing or attempting to kill people in a confined and populated area, typically through the use of firearms. This is an actual definition for it. The problem that they're running into now, because this word has become, there are 3 movies with the title active shooter. That's how common this has become.
And video games
that
and everything
exactly,
else.
that people now will call 911, and that is an escalation that isn't necessarily always necessary, and actually it puts other people at risk, given that law enforcement is going to respond to an active shooter in an active shooter sort of way. So if you don't know that that's happening, explain what you know, make the call, but don't use that term, because that term can escalate situations that in ways that you really can't anticipate.
We saw this Saturday down at South Center Mall when somebody said active shooter when the kids were running to the exits, and it was not.
Precisely. And that can create a whole host of other. They're not saying if you see something going on like this, absolutely report it as such, but they feel like now people jump to that term very quickly, which triggers an enormous law enforcement response, which means it's also law enforcement not responding to other things in the area.
Have you ever called 911? And I know they're doing their job. That's a tough job, man. I could not mentally sustain that. Yeah. And like I will report drunk drivers because I'm freaked out by drunk drivers because I had to stop by the side of the road and comfort a husband whose wife had just died. One of those formative times. And they just ask you these series of questions and you get so frustrated. Like, yes, they're still here. Now they're going this way and it's 5, it's 10 minutes and they can't get people there. And I talked to a 911 operator who said, here's why we're doing this. Yes, it's frustrating. We may not get police out there. But if you're giving us this information, we have this traffic camera and we have that traffic camera. And we can go back to this store and say, did your camera pick this up? I said, that I get. That's why you're asking me these things. So there's always this explanation. It's a great story. That is a great story.
For some reason, whenever I call 911, they always tell me the answer to my question. Oh, yeah, we've had a lot of people call about that. Here's what's going on. Like, oh, it's time to gossip.
I guess I'm
How
a
many times
trendsetter.
do you call 911?
I call 911 a lot. I always find myself in the situation.
Didn't we do a story about you?
We should.
Yeah.
Last time I called
9 times a
911,
day.
about 2 months ago, there was a group of 3 people walking over the Ship Canal Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to make a phone call.
We got rear-ended in Utah by a drunk driver, and the 911, I was doing radio at the time, the 911 operator knew me. She said, "Hi, Todd." She knew my girlfriend's name, who's not my wife. So there's that. We come back, another facility for people with special needs may be shut down. It's going to miss a whole bunch of federal funding because it can't meet safety regulations. So, hey, look, are we even getting to the basic responsibilities of government? We'll dig into that. Tracy Taylor now will give us a traffic report brought to you by Emerald Queen Casino. What are you seeing, Tracy?
So they're still working the